The easiest way you can make 600 wheel horsepower with your stock Ram 1500, the mods that you're exactly gonna need. I'm gonna be sharing with you guys that right now in this video. Good afternoon, happy Friday. Very chilly morning today, man. I'm kind of freezing right now. Don't want to start the truck up because I got some nice hot soup to keep me warm. But if you're thinking about gaining, let's say if your goal is for you to hit 600 to 500 wheel horsepower with your Ram 1500 and you don't have any kind of mods done yet, this is what I would tell you, right? What you really need to do to be able to get to that. Because nowadays 600 to the wheels that's not like fast. Like, I mean, it's fast, but it's not like crazy fast. Because nowadays it's like most fast cars, they all aiming to hit like 1,000 or 800 up and stuff like that. But 600 to the wheels is not really that hard for you to hit, like with a Ram 1500. But it takes some money and it takes some time for you to be able to get there. So this is what I got to tell you. But before I get into telling you guys exactly what I would do to get there, if you are here for your first time on the channel, do me a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, follow the bill. I am building one of the baddest 4th generation Ram on YouTube. I'm telling you guys this right now, and I'm gonna tell you guys again. It's not too many Ram channels on YouTube, so I want you to follow my journey on me building my 2014 Dodge Ram that I bought close to almost 2 years ago. So you guys want to follow. I got a lot of good things coming up for this truck, so you guys want to be able to stick around for that. I would definitely appreciate it. So where do you really start? That's the question. Where do you really start if you are trying to gain? If you want to gain like 600 to the wheels with a Ram, a stock Ram 5.7 Hemi, where do you really start? First thing, right, I'm gonna tell you guys this. The biggest things before I start going into the order, well, once you figure out, right, if the first thing is you figuring out if you want to go with a Whipple supercharger or if you want to go with a turbo kit or a turbo supercharger or something like that. Now, or some kind of supercharger. You're gonna need some kind of supercharger. Now, I would suggest, right? This is what I would tell you guys off the rip, to exactly be able to like get to that fast, not crazy fast, but I'm saying it's gonna take a little bit of time doing this because it is modification. It does cost money. First thing, you're gonna need some kind of supercharger to get there. I'll say like that would be like the biggest thing that can get you there like quick. You're gonna need a supercharger. Now, what kind of supercharger? Me, honestly, I would say from what I see a lot of guys doing now with like the Ram, like these 4th generation Ram, they all tend to, this is something I see on the internet. I haven't seen it in person yet. I think it might be something that's more so like down south or something like that. But I would say to really get like the Hellcat, I think it's a Hellcat supercharger kit. That's what it's called. This is pretty much it right here for the Ram, because you can't really just strictly buy yourself a Hellcat supercharger and then try to slap it on there on your stock 5.7 Hemi engine. It's not gonna work that way. But they built this. I forgot the company. I don't know the company name that built this, but this is their website with all the information on there, and this is how pretty much the kit looks. So they built this kit where it has a Hellcat supercharger, and I think it comes with other stuff to be able to make everything possible to happen. Now, this kit alone, it is a supercharger you put on a Ram that they built specifically for a 5.7 Hemi engine. Now, that right there alone going to be like your number one key to you get into 500, 600 horsepower or maybe more. I don't know too much about this kit, but I do know a lot of people, a lot of Rams and stuff that I've seen on Instagram. They most of the time would have, it's like something new that most people is doing now. But that would be the first place I'll say to start. It is the most expensive, I will say, but it's worth it. Now, what else could help you achieve the goal of you hitting 600 horsepower? Now, I would say, obviously, you're going to need aftermarket parts such as exhaust, some kind of aftermarket exhaust, free flow. What else? Headers, long tube headers, gonna add. Now, these stuff are just like I wouldn't say the least, but it all add up though. Even though it's not gonna be giving you like 100 plus to the horsepower and stuff, it's gonna be giving you like 20, 30, but everything will add up to, once I'm done telling you guys exactly what you need, and the fact that you add in the Hellcat supercharger kit to your 570 Hemi Ram. So exhaust, long tube headers. After that, I would say to do custom cam. Custom cam gonna play a huge role too in that, in your truck performance. So those are three things, and then the Hellcat supercharger kit for the Ram 1500. For the Ram 1500, like I'll show you guys and stuff. That's pretty much what you're really gonna need. But the biggest thing, what really would play a huge role into that, is you getting a custom cam. Without the custom cam, I don't think all of this is gonna really be possible, because everything got to be able to. The point of the cam is to help the truck be able to get more power and perform its best, and then also be able to for every single mods that you add to it is gonna be able to help things run the way it need to run and stuff like that. But now, don't get me wrong, this is like those like 4 or 5 things I just named. That's like the real key point of what you would really need. But don't get me wrong, doing this, if you're trying to gain 600 to the wheels, obviously you do got to beef up certain things. You got to do, like for example, your rear end, you probably got to build that to be able to handle, that power, or your trans, I don't know, stuff like that. Maybe 600 to the wheels is not really, I think a stock 8HP 70 transmission for like the Ram transmission could be able to handle that kind of power. It's not like 700 to 800 horsepower. I think it could be able to handle 500 to 600 horsepower if you're not doing too much. But later on down the line, there is a ton of other things you do got to do though. But I'm just saying, like, the real like stuff that you would need up front to be able to get you to that point, like for like to be able to get you to that point. Like, if you guys think about it, right? Nowadays, 2025, we are going into 2026. 600 wheels to the, like 600, 500 is not really considered fast to some people, because nowadays it's a lot of, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of fast cars out there. And most, like I say, most people are up like on probably 700, 800 and up. Like most people hitting like the thousands, because now a lot of things changed. It's not like back then, a few years ago, whereas like now they have the right, parts, computer to be able to get cars, like even a Ram truck like this. Now you guys see how they having these trucks with the Scat Pack engine, the freaking Hellcat engine, Hellcat swap. But it's so much more stuff that, like, so you could really think about. But I don't know, most people, to me, I'll say, I don't think 500 to 600 horsepower is like something that I would look at like, damn, that's fast as hell. Back maybe 10 years, I don't know, maybe 9, 8 years ago, I'll say that's fast as hell. But now they making stock cars, like the stock trucks, even pickup trucks now, like, could be able to make that kind of power from factory and stuff like that. It's not really as, hard as you would think, I would say, for a Ram. Like, even though, don't get me wrong, the Ram is a heavy truck, but it doesn't really take much. Like, it really don't take much to be able to make 500 to 600 horsepower with a Ram 1500. Really don't. Depending on the mods that you choose now, it is a bunch of other ways that you can go about this. But I would say this is like the way I would take if I have, if I'm planning on keeping my 5.7 Hemi for like the 5.7 Hemi engine I have in this truck. If my goal is to keep it for a while, this is the route I would take, I would say. But real quick though, I gotta go back into work. My break is over, so I will be seeing you guys in about a couple hours. So within a couple minutes, well, I wouldn't say a couple minutes, but a few hours, I'll see you guys back, and we're gonna touch back up on this topic. Fellas, welcome back. We are off work. Crazy thing is, got off a little bit late today. Right now it's only 5:26. My only issue is we ain't got no more daylight. It is pitch black outside. That's the only thing I dislike about winter. This one thing I dislike about the winter time, like around this time, it gets so dark outside when it's like 4 or 5. And sometimes I get off later and stuff like that. So just got off, so I'm gonna try to remember what I was talking about. I think I was talking about for you to be able to achieve 500 to 600 to the wheels, all you really needed, the biggest thing that you really needed with all of this, like I'll explain to you guys, I don't care what anybody tell you or what you hear on the internet and stuff like that. I think the best, one of the best way, get this straight, one of the best way you could be able to achieve 600 or 500 to the wheels with a Ram 1500 that has the 5.7 Hemi inside of it. Like I mentioned, I'm gonna mention this to you guys again, which I stated that you could get the Hellcat supercharger kit. You're gonna need some long tube headers. You're gonna need you're gonna need a custom cam, and you could do a little bit of add-on things and stuff that's gonna be able to help you. But overall, what's really important, that's gonna bring everything together when you are doing this, plan on doing this, is the fact that you have to get like the custom tune is like the biggest, even though it's not really like anything like crazy to some people, but I think the custom tune is something that's really very important for your vehicle at the end of the day, especially if you want your vehicle to have overall the best performance, especially when it comes to you making more power. And I would definitely say too, who you go to do your custom tune definitely is something that's very important too. You don't want to, I would highly recommend, if you're gonna do something like this, go to like a good name in wherever you at, go to like a good place that mess around with Mopar, that understand exactly what they're gonna be doing when you are planning on doing this. It's not rocket science at the end of the day, like you trying to get to 1,000 to the wheels. 500, 600 horsepower with one of these trucks, you can really be able to do that. It's very easy. It doesn't take much as you think it will. But personally speaking, I think this is like the best way that you could achieve 500 to 600 horsepower with a Ram. If you even add on some mods and stuff, you might be able to achieve a little bit more than that. But I think this is like the best way you can be able to do so with your Ram. Definitely gonna cost you money, so you want to think twice. You gotta have that paper first, have your paper right, and then you can start getting a mods and stuff. Like I stated, the biggest thing, the most expensive thing that's gonna be expensive is the Hellcat supercharger kit that they have for the 5.7 Hemi Ram. That's gonna be the most expensive thing, and then everything else price range should be around like the same. But it's gonna be worth it. This is how you can be able to achieve 500 to 600 horsepower. Yes, of course, there's more ways you could be able to do so, but this is one of the ways that you could. And I think that this is a good step for somebody to take, though. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. This is a good step. But let me know what you guys think. Definitely do me a favor. If you haven't subscribed, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. I would definitely appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Stay safe. Peace out.